As a Charlotte Hornets fan, personally, I know the importance of every fan of every team having just the slightest bit of hope heading into the season. As Hornets fans, we tend to get excited over the little things, like our entire team not being convicted of a felony. Maybe only half. That's a positive to look at things. So today we're going to look at that on a broader scale and look at one thing to be excited for or one thing to watch for every NBA team. Today we're going to do the Eastern Conference. We'll do the Western Conference tomorrow probably, or in a couple days. It'll be here soon enough. So if you do enjoy NBA content, if you like NBA basketball, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button as well as sticking around for the full video so you see your team. Also, as you can see, large majority of the audience is not subscribed, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started looking at X factors, things to watch for every team in the Eastern Conference, starting with, of course, the Atlanta Hawks, going in alphabetical order here. And today for the Hawks, it's going to be the young wings, Jalen Johnson, Saddiq Bey, and A.J. Griffin. A.J. Griffin, well, all three of them really are going to have to take a huge step forward, but between A.J. Griffin and Saddiq Bey, that's going to have to be their three-point shooting. Both those guys shoot at 40+% from three. They're going to have big-time years for the Hawks this year. We talked about the X factor being Trey's return, so they're going to need their young wings to play well, and then Jalen Johnson is going to have to step up in the absence of John Collins. This is going to be his time to shine. They're betting on Jalen Johnson being a really, really good piece for them by sending John Collins to Utah. So, he's got to step up in a big way for him and pay off that belief. For the Boston Celtics, their biggest issue is depth, and that's something we've been looking at ever since the Kristaps Porzingis trade. The guys you just saw right there are going to be their three best bench players, and that's going to be interesting. Peyton Pritchard was just extended. He's going to have to take a huge step forward after all the drama last year, potentially not even playing, and then, potentially getting traded, and now he's going to have to be the 7th or 8th guy off the bench. You bring in O'Shea Brissett, you bring in other guys, and you've also got to have some young guys step up. They bring in Delano Banton, but Al Horford at 38, 37 years old, however old he is, he's way up there. He's going to have to be their sixth man, and he's going to have to do a dang good job of it to keep this team afloat. They better hope they don't get injuries. For the Brooklyn Nets, the thing to watch for is an all-time elite defense. Between those five guys right there, they bring the absolute clamps. Their X Factor, we talked about it in the X Factors video, Ben Simmons being back. If he is back to prime Ben that we saw his rookie and sophomore season in the NBA, he's going to lead the defense at the point of attack. You got Nick Claxton anchoring things down low. We just saw his block there. Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson are two elite wings on the perimeter defensively. And then you also got Dorian Finney-Smith, who is another elite wing. And then you got guys like Royce O'Neal, Dennis Smith Jr. off the bench. This could be an elite team in Brooklyn. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan, so the thing to watch for the Hornets is a Brandon Miller Rookie of the Year type season. There is a very easy path to Miller winning the Rookie of the Year. There is obviously a world where Victor Wembanyama just can't stay healthy. We've seen that prototype before. I'm not wishing it on him because that would be a terrible thing to do. But in a world where he does get hurt, even if he doesn't, Brandon Miller could be a very valuable player for us this year. He's going to have to take over and excel in that Kelly Oubre Jr. role. But this time he's going to have a little bit more of green light as the number 2 overall pick. Now for the Chicago Bulls, the thing to watch for them is them just completely blowing it up at the deadline. That core right there of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, it would obviously look a lot nicer if Lonzo Ball was there to play point guard. However, unfortunate what happened with him or to him with his knee, but it's looking like the Bulls are going nowhere fast. They just extended Vucevic 3 years, $60 million. Interesting move there. But like I said, I would not be shocked at all to see the Bulls are like, okay, we're not going to get really out of the play-in. That's probably our ceiling. Let's just blow it up, get picks while these guys are still valuable, and hit the reset button. For the Cavs, it's going to be the thing to watch for is their elite defense anchored by their two 7-footers, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen, obviously an elite rim protector. Evan Mobley is obviously just elite all around. He can move his feet, slide on the perimeter, and he can protect the rim. So watching those two guys should be fun this year. And then you also got like Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell to provide the offense. But one of their X factors we saw in the X Factors video I made was Evan Mobley's offense and his three-point progression. Now, for the Detroit Pistons, the thing to watch for is an Azar Thompson Rookie of the Year push. I know for the Hornets, we had a Brandon Miller Rookie of the Year push. Azar Thompson, we saw him this summer transform into one of the faces. I mean, he almost passed Jaden Ivey. I mean, hey, everybody, let's react to the Summer League, or overreact to the Summer League, but he almost passed Jaden Ivey, it felt like, with what he was doing in the Summer League. At 6'7", though, with that kind of defense, you bring Jaden Ivey off the bench maybe, put Azar at the 2, who's more of a traditional 2, beside of Cade Cunningham, two 6'7" guys that possess great length. Azar obviously will have to improve that three-point shooting, but for Detroit Pistons fans, getting to watch Azar Thompson this year should be, worth the price of admission alone. For the Indiana Pacers, it is going to be a sneaky playoff run. I mean, watch out for this team. You got two really good guards, Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin. You got Miles Turner doing one of the most underrated bigs in the league. He's doing it all down low, defending or protecting the rim, knocking down the three ball, doing a little bit of everything in between as well. And then you got guys like Buddy Hield coming off the bench, knocking down three balls. They extended Aaron Nesmith on a steal of an extension, 3 years, $33 million. And then you have Obi Toppin, Jarace Walker. One of those guys is going to have to play that power forward spot. And if they do, look out, because they also have a lot of good bench players. Now, for the Miami Heat, it is going to be, well, these guys, they got to ball out. That's the bottom line. They kind of got worse. The depth is not good. So, but, we've been saying that for a while now for the Heat, and they continue to find guys out of the G League, off of waivers. They just continue to find guys that can come in and provide a spark and be good for them and contribute to winning basketball. So maybe that's the thing to watch for this year for the Heat is who is it going to be? Is it going to be Nikola Jovic, the first rounder from a year ago? Maybe somebody like Omer Yurtseven. We shall see, but that's going to be fun to watch for the Heat. Now for the Bucks, with Dame, with Giannis, that's going to be a fun duo to watch. Giannis just got a bag, 3 years, $186 million. Absolutely wild. But for the Bucks, it's going to be watching which one of these bench players steps up. Is it going to be the rookie? Andre Jackson Jr., I love that pick for them. He could, real talk, he could come in and immediately play a huge role for them off the bench due to his defense, his facilitating. I like Andre Jackson Jr. a lot. And then you also have Malik Beasley, a guy that put up 20 a game for the Minnesota Timberwolves not too long ago. Another guy that can come in and provide a big spark for them off the bench. The thing to watch for in Milwaukee is which one of those guys is going to play well. Now, for the New York Knicks, it's going to be Jalen Brunson taking an even bigger leap. They've got some guys in New York. My X factor for them this year was RJ Barrett taking a leap and being able to knock down that three ball, being able to close games out. For the Knicks this year, it's going to have to be Jalen Brunson takes another leap, or not going to have to be, but something to watch for. Maybe Jalen Brunson gets up to 26, 27, 28 points a game. And if that happens, holy cow, it's honestly starting to look like that free agency deal was a steal if he starts to do that, because he was so good for the Knicks last year. Watch out for Jalen Brunson to have an even bigger year than last year. Now, for the Orlando Magic, it's going to be a sneaky playoff run, but also you got to watch the point guard carousel, point guard roulette, if you will. They bring in Anthony Black with the number 6 overall pick in the draft, which didn't make sense considering you already had 3 point guards, but, I'll live with it. They just went best player available, and that's what you got to do. So which one of Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, or Cole Anthony is going to be moved on? And I don't think it's going to be Cole Anthony. They just agreed to a 3-year, $30-some million extension for him. So is it going to be Markelle Fultz? Surely not. He's the best of the three. Or is it going to be like a Jalen Suggs, who is an elite defender, just hasn't really figured it out on the offensive side of the ball? We'll see. That's going to be something fun to watch for this year. For the Philadelphia 76ers, we have the James Harden scenario. I mean, like I said in the X Factors video, we have seen this time and time again. James Harden gets tired of what he's doing, starts going to strip clubs, starts wearing the fat suit, and then all of a sudden he gets traded, and the Clippers are a team that's being thrown around. We'll see where he actually goes, but it's going to be interesting to watch. And then I'm also interested to watch how Tyrese Maxey develops this year as point guard one. Now, for the Toronto Raptors, their thing to watch for is if they are better without Fred VanVleet. As we know, VanVleet went to the Houston Rockets, but he shot an abysmal percentage from the field and from three last year. Well, three-point percentage wasn't as bad, but from the field, it was less than he's making per year. And that is not good at all. So we shall see if, Dennis Scrotum and Gradey Dick, that's an elite name duo right there. We'll see if they can, come together and provide for that backcourt what Fred VanVleet leaves. We'll see, but that's just a thing to watch for this year for the Raptors. And then for the Wizards, kind of like with the X Factors video, the Wizards are just going to be bad. There's a couple things to watch for, though. First is the development of Bilal Coulibaly. We'll see if they can finally hit on one of their draft picks from recent years because they just keep swinging and missing. It's kind of like me watching me try to hit a baseball. And then you have Jordan Poole. We'll see how he progresses. He's been the definition of inconsistency so far. Dropped like 41 points on 19 shots, and then he put up like 6 points on 41 shots. So it was kind of wild. But yeah, that's something to watch for every team in the Eastern Conference. Make sure to the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications to come back for part 2 and, just for the rest of the season because we're going to be posting every single day. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.